I talked to Manny on the phone, and he wants to fight one more time.
He wants to fight one more time.
He does. He can fight because he had speed and he had power, and it's very, very hard to get those two together
at that size. Yeah.
Many believed one of boxing's greatest stories had reached its final chapter. The man who once made giants look small, who shattered legends with a blur of fists and footwork that defied logic, seemed finished after his 2021 loss to Yordenis Ugas. Manny Pacquiao stepped out of the ring and into politics, leaving fans with memories instead of expectations. But now, in a twist worthy of its own documentary, he's back, at 46, with knees worn from 1,000 rounds and hands still, wrapped in destiny. Why return when the world says it's too late? Why chase a dream most believe has already passed? Because one man believes the fire never died. Freddie Roach, the Hall of Fame trainer, the quiet strategist behind some of boxing's most electrifying nights, has seen Pacquiao land punches that defy explanation. And now, he's seeing it again. Manny Pacquiao can beat Mario Barrios, not just survive, not just go the distance, beat him. And if Freddie Roach says it, boxing history suggests we'd be wise to believe him. This isn't just a comeback, it's a reckoning. A legend pushing back against time, against logic, against everything we've come to believe about aging fighters. And Freddie Roach is holding the door open for one more war because, to him, Manny Pacquiao never stopped being great. He just took a break. It began with whispers. A few seconds of grainy mitt work leaked online. Then a clearer image. Pacquiao in full gear, shadowboxing at Wildcard. No formal announcement, no press. Release, just movement, speed, that unmistakable rhythm. Suddenly, fans who had long moved on were frozen in place, whispering the same question. Is he coming back? Pacquiao hadn't fought in years. He'd become a senator, a philanthropist, a living statue. Most assumed he'd spend his later years shaking hands, not throwing them. His loss to Yordenis Ugas felt like the final chapter, not because he looked bad, but because he looked tired. But the thing about warriors is this. They don't retire because they're tired. They stop when there's nothing left to fight for. Now there is something. Mario Barrios, tall, strong, young, dangerous. A name rising through the welterweight ranks after dominating Ugas. Yes, that Ugas. And here's where the story twists. Barrios' victory put him on a map he never asked for. And now, Roach and Pacquiao are preparing to redraw it. The media questioned everything. Why would Manny do this at 46? Is it desperation? Ego? But Freddie Roach, never one for theatrics, shut it all down with a single line. He's not doing this for money. He's doing it because he knows he can win. That's not blind loyalty. That's 2 decades in the trenches. Roach has seen Pacquiao through wars that would have broken most men. Barrera, Marquez, Thurman. He stood in the corner when the world doubted, and every time, Manny proved them wrong. This isn't a midlife crisis. It's unfinished business. And Roach, speaking now with that same quiet fire, is betting it all on the man who built his legend throwing punches too fast for the cameras to catch. Barrios might be younger, taller, and fresher, but he's about to step into something he's never seen before. Not just a fighter, not just a legend, a storm that's never learned how to quit. If Manny Pacquiao is the fire, Freddie Roach is the match that lit it. Their story isn't just trainer and fighter. It's belief. Roach lives with Parkinson's. His hands shake, his voice wavers, sometimes soft, sometimes silent. But when he steps into the ring, pads strapped on, the world goes still. That's not medicine. That's purpose. Before Pacquiao, Roach was just another fighter with bad hands and worse luck. He fought hard, but not smart. When the lights dimmed, he stayed in the sport because there was nowhere else to go. That's how Wildcard Gym was born. 4 walls, sweat-soaked mats, and pure, stubborn will. Then one day, a quiet, wiry kid from the Philippines walked in. He barely spoke English. But when he hit the mitts, Roach felt it in his bones. Freddie Roach has seen countless fighters, but this was different. Over 2 decades later, he still watches Manny Pacquiao with the same laser focus. And that's why people listen when Roach speaks, because he doesn't lie. He's told Manny not to fight before. He's walked other fighters into retirement when their legs were gone and their reflexes had dulled, but not this time. Not with Manny. This time, Roach isn't saying maybe, he's saying can. As in, Manny can beat Barrios. He's sharp, he's strong, and, maybe most importantly, he's smarter now than he's ever been. That last part is key, because Roach isn't counting on Pacquiao to out-youth Mario Barrios. He's counting on him to outthink him. This isn't the same Pacquiao who charged into brawls with reckless abandon. This is the evolved version, still fast, still unpredictable, but now calculated. And behind that calculation is Roach, meticulous, ruthless, honest. Where others see 46 years old, Roach sees 12 rounds of data, angles, habits, patterns. He sees how Barrios dips his left shoulder after throwing a hook, how he retreats in straight lines. Roach doesn't just see a path to victory, he sees a blueprint already in motion. Because for Roach, this fight isn't just another payday. It's the final movement in a symphony he's been composing for more than 20 years. A final crescendo. And in his mind, it ends with Barrios on the canvas. But make no mistake, Mario Barrios is no soft target. He's not a setup, not some hand-picked farewell opponent to make a legend shine on his way out. He's the real thing. Young, tall, durable, mean in the clinch. At 5'10", with a 71-inch reach, Barrios is a natural welterweight who breaks opponents down with quiet confidence. He beat Yordenis Ugas convincingly, and that alone marks him as a serious threat. But here's the twist. Beating Ugas doesn't mean you're ready for Pacquiao, especially not a Pacquiao still trained by Freddie Roach, because Roach doesn't see Barrios as a mountain. He sees him as a maze, and mazes, no matter how complex, can be solved.
Huge right hand, the jab. There's that.
Barrios is disciplined, but not unpredictable. He fights on rhythm. His jab, while sturdy, comes from the same angle every time. His body shots are heavy but telegraphed. Roach calls it methodical, which in Freddie speak is code for exploitable. Sure, Barrios has the tools, but Roach is looking at the gaps. His hands move, but his feet don't follow. Roach sees it clearly. Barrios throws, then resets flat. And that's exactly where Manny thrives. Watch enough tape, and it jumps out. Barrios is excellent moving forward, applying pressure. But force him to pivot, to fight off his back foot, and his timing stutters. His rhythm cracks. That's a problem, especially against someone like Pacquiao, who doesn't fight in straight lines. Manny is angles and bursts, sharp entries and sudden exits. He doesn't just bring speed, he brings controlled chaos. Barrios has never faced anyone who moves like that. Not just fast, but unpredictably fast, calculated, relentless. Most fighters get frustrated when they can't find their target. Barrios? He tightens up. He goes mechanical, and when that happens, when instinct turns into hesitation, Manny Pacquiao eats fighters alive.
Just landed. Very close.
That's the real danger. Barrios is stepping into a fight where the very rhythm he depends on will be shredded by movement he's never prepared for. Roach knows it. Manny knows it. And if Barrios can't adapt mid-fight, something he's never had to do at this level, he won't survive the storm. He'll drown in it. At 46, it's not about training harder, it's about training smarter. That's the gospel Freddie Roach has been preaching in the quiet corners of wildcardgym. Gone are the days of sparring 8 rounds back-to-back with 3 different partners. Now every minute counts. Every punch has purpose. Every session ends not in exhaustion, but in calculation. Manny used to be the gym's chaos engine, blitzing heavy bags, shadowboxing like his life depended on it. doubling up on road work just to feel tired. But this camp is different. The fire is still there, but it's focused, sharpened, refined. Roach designed this camp with surgical precision, not to chase what Manny was, but to extract what still is. Roach's mantra this time is simple: no wasted movement. Every punch thrown in camp is reviewed. Every session is meticulously documented. There are fewer rounds, but more film. Less damage, but greater depth. Manny no longer trains to break his body. He trains to preserve it, sharpening the tools he'll need for just 36 minutes in the ring. Even recovery is tactical. Cryotherapy sessions, nutrition tailored down to the molecular level, reflex drills with LED lights replacing traditional sparring. Roach's team now includes a movement coach, someone who studies how Pacquiao steps, rotates, even breathes between exchanges. Because when time isn't on your side, science has to be. People forget, Roach said, that Manny was always a volume puncher, but never reckless. He always had intelligence. And that's the terrifying truth for any opponent who thinks this version of Pacquiao is slower. Sure, he might be a step behind physically, but mentally, he's thinking 2 steps ahead. This isn't a faded champion gasping for one last payday. This is a fighter still sculpting his final masterpiece. Roach isn't rebuilding Manny, he's unveiling what never left. If Barrios has nightmares, they won't be about knockouts. They'll be about things he can't see. Punches sneaking in, from below his chin or around his temple, feet that aren't where they were a second ago, a man half his size turning the ring into a trap. That's what it's like to fight Manny Pacquiao. Freddie Roach has always said it's not just speed, it's unpredictable speed. Pacquiao doesn't throw simple 1-2 combos. He unleashes 5, 7, 10 punches from angles that don't make sense, all while moving, slipping, smiling. Barrios is orthodox, built on rhythm. He likes his jab. He likes his distance, but that's exactly the kind of fighter Pacquiao has eaten alive for years. Ask De La Hoya, ask Cotto, ask Thurman. Tall, strong men who blinked and suddenly found themselves against the ropes, a left hand detonating somewhere near their cheekbone.
Oh, down goes Thurman!
And let me tell you, that was just a quick punch, and Manny Pacquiao moved in with his legs.
Roach sees the pattern clearly. Barrios retreats in a straight line, and that, he says, is death against a southpaw like Manny. He's right. The worst thing you can do against Pacquiao is back straight up, because Manny follows like a shadow, punching as he moves forward. Barrios has never faced a southpaw with this kind of relentless engine. Sure, he's sparred lefties, fought a few, but none who blur the lines between offense and movement like Pacquiao. Roach calls it the slingshot. Manny draws you in, then launches forward at an angle, just off-center enough to be invisible until it's too late. It's not about raw speed anymore, it's about deception. Manny uses feints like grenades. His feet are weapons. He'll dart in, fire off 3 punches, then slip out sideways, leaving Barrios swinging at air and resetting his feet like a rookie.
And caught Thurman backing up. Thurman thought he could back up quick enough, but he wasn't quick enough to get it out of the reach of that punch.